Stugotz here for 1-800-Flowers. It's hard to find a bigger fan of you than Mom. Through all the teenage mischief and tough first steps of adulthood, she's been there supporting you every step of the way. This Mother's Day, show her just how much you appreciate all of her dedication with 1-800-Flowers.com. And right now, when you get ahead of the Mother's Day rush, 1-800-Flowers is giving you an exclusive 24 for 24 offer, 24 multicolored roses for just $24. That's only $1 per rose. With a bright and beautiful mix of premium roses in a rainbow of colors, these blooms are guaranteed to show Mom just how much she's loved. Multicolored roses are the perfect way to surprise all the moms in your life. Wife, aunt, sister, grandma. Roses from 1-800-Flowers are picked at their peak from premier farms and shipped overnight to ensure freshness. 24 multicolored roses for just $24 is an amazing offer, but you have to hurry because it expires Thursday. Just pick your delivery date and 1-800-Flowers will handle the rest. Don't put this off. Order today from 1-800-Flowers.com. It's what Mom would want you to do. To order 24 stunning multicolored roses for just $24, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/Dan. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Dan.
This troll Guillermo.
Yeah.
Still ripping Tim Kirkshin today. Go ahead and put it on the poll. Does Tim Kirkshin know more about Nolan Ryan than you know about your wife?
No doubt.
Or husband. This troll Guillermo was just roaring with laughter yesterday because he incensed the entire baseball community. This is what we exist to do. Our show exists to just bother the people in charge.
Yep.
Everybody. I mean,
it's so great.
No, I'm not kidding you. All right. So Tim Kirkshin is calling him an idiot, and Boog's calling him an idiot, and Bomani's calling him an idiot, and no one's laughing harder than Guillermo because it was his established finish line. Like he won. He was just cackling with laughter as the credible baseball sources told him, no, Nolan Ryan was indeed good.
I was walking up the stairs like 2 hours later during the show, coming back from the bath, and I just smiled, and I'm like, I can't believe that this happened today.
The light bulb.
Because you know that there was playing in like some hallway somewhere in Bristol, and someone was like, what is going on here?
How long are we going to be able to do this? Exist as something that simply bothers people. Like, at some point, people are going to turn on us. Are they not? Like, we exist. I mean, it's funniest when we are bothering the gatekeepers of any kind, right? Any kind. And Stugotz is the cartoon hood ornament on this jalopy that is Mad Maxing through ESPN because Stugotz wants it everybody. Wilbon, Eisen.
Yep, Dan Patrick. I mean, all of them, to be honest with you. Every single one of the credible people.
Everybody on Around the Horn except for the people with whom he's aligned because they're soldiers in his army.
That is correct, yes. Mina, she's good. Dominique. Is he on that show ever, Dominique?
No.
He's not. Has he written anything? Mina, essentially. And maybe Pablo.
Is he?
It's debatable.
Sarah?
I mean, Izzy's a tough one for me because I love Israel Gutierrez, but, I mean, every day this show is over and I want to hop over across the hallway here to do TV with you. I can't because Israel's here.
But you often are out there doing TV with me anyway, as we don't tape because you're in charge, pointing your sausage fingers everywhere, telling Poppy how he could be funnier, telling Izzy how he could be funnier, telling me how I could be funny.
I'm just trying to get Poppy riled up. I mean, you and Izzy are fine on your own. I'm just trying to get Poppy all riled up.
I was so disappointed with my father yesterday. All he's been doing is in private is mother bleeping everybody with the heat. And he gets over here and he rolls over on his back when we put him on air, sounds sleepy and won't go after anybody, even though he's angry about how the Heat season ended.
Yeah.
It reminded me of my father for years. His favorite team was the 1986 Mets, but he always used to call Gary Carter, La Vaca Carter, the cow. He just used to call him the cow all the time, very derisively. Nobody in my family should be calling anyone else a cow. And so he did this for years and years and years.
Right.
And then Gary Carter becomes the Marlins color man. And then we're at a charity thing. And my father sidles up to Gary Carter and goes full star bleeper.
That's how you do it.
But he's a conundrum, though, because once TV fame arrived in his life, then he'd go up to Giancarlo Stanton right at a charity event and call him a whiffer to his face. I don't know if television has emboldened him. He called it, I told you guys how this happened, right? He called Giancarlo Stanton a whiffer to his face and then ran away. Physically waddled or ran.
Wouldn't you?
I mean, I wouldn't start with calling him a whiffer to his face.
I was there. He said whiffer as he was running away, too.
Yes, that's true. He kept saying it. Yes. Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Would you call Giancarlo Stanton a whiffer to his face?
Wait, how did this happen? He went up to him and he's like, hello, and in a conversation he called him a whiffer?
No, there was no hello. No. My father was at a charity event, so tired of Giancarlo Stanton's strikeouts that he could not help himself. There was no hello. I think he did it, not unlike you, simply to bother me. I'm pretty sure that's why he did it. I don't think this had anything to do with Giancarlo Stanton. My father likes him. My father delighted in the story when I told him, and yes, Dad, weeks later I had to get in an elevator with Giancarlo Stanton. When you're saying on television every day that he's a whiffer.
How was that? Did he talk to you?
I stared at the floor a lot. I stared at the floor. I said hello. Yeah.
Was he wrong, though?
He's wrong to say it to his face at a charity event. Yes.
No, charity events where you have to do it because nothing's going to happen at a charity event.
Exactly. Right. No brouhaha at a charity event. You just say it. It's a charity event. What's he going to do? And he's a whiffer.
Brouhaha is a funny word coming out of your mouth.
I'm getting old.
I don't even know why. I'm confused. Well, brouhaha by itself is funny. But you specifically saying it caught me completely off guard.
I don't think I've ever said it before today.
Why would you say it there?
I don't know. I just felt like the right thing to say. A little brouhaha at a charity event.
What specifically qualifies as a brouhaha? If we were to say, because I imagine scratches and cuts in a brouhaha and not at a charity event.
Yeah, brouhaha is a step below a Donnybrook.
Is it? What are the rankings here?
I feel like a Donnybrook is a more intense brouhaha.
Well, hold on. Okay, let's do the caste system here on words that are melee. Where is melee?
Oh, melee is probably top of the heap.
Yeah, melee's right up there.
Riot is at the top of the heap, bro.
Riot? I didn't know Riot was available. Okay, so yeah, sure. If you want to keep moving.
Well, why wouldn't Riot be available?
War is above.
War.
I didn't know war was available.
Yeah.
Nuclear holocaust.
Yes.
I didn't know that was available.
All right, so you wanted to continue up in the ante with Riot.
Where is brouhaha the lowest?
Tommy Topper.
Is the brouhaha the lowest? I don't think I'll be able to top war.
No, certainly not. Shenanigans.
That's the lowest?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Where's hijinks?
Hijinks is probably lower.
Yeah,
it's lower. Hijinks are lower than shenanigans.
Yeah, what your dad was doing was hijinks.
Yes.
Yeah, very low.
Well, Stugotz described it as a brouhaha. That seems like it'd be very high.
No. Billy said that's a good place to do it, the hijinks, because there's not going to be a brouhaha.
Exactly. Yes. Hijinks are allowed at charity events because they won't lead to brouhahas or more.
What's the midline on this between shenanigans and war? What is the
Kerfuffle?
Kerfuffle. All right. I want to put together this entire list, please.
All right, we all agree it starts with hijinks.
How did you not know Riot was available?
Yes.
Hijinks is the ground level, ground floor.
Yes.
Then shenanigans?
Shenanigans,
yeah.
Shenanigans.
So it goes hijinks to shenanigans. What are we building? A totem pole here? A caste system?
Yeah.
A hierarchy?
Yeah.
Totem poles are so confusing because people say you're at the bottom of the totem pole as if that's not important, but it's the base. It has to be the strongest. So I never have understood that analogy. Would you want to be the top of the totem? Honestly, the top of the totem pole seems like the place to be because the least amount of work is being done, and it's the one that everyone glamorizes is the top of the totem pole. The bottom of the totem pole are the people that really put their fingers in the dirt and get all the work done, but they're viewed as unimportant while they're holding up the top of the totem pole, which I never understood. Also, the top of the totem pole is so glamorous, and sometimes I feel like there's wings and there's a beak of an eagle. Love eagles.
$2.
Kerfuffle or brouhaha? I'm not sure which comes first. Which one's a lighter version?
Yeah, let's think about
this
that.
This one's
for a
confusing
second.
because they're so close.
Yeah.
I think it's brouhaha, Mike. It's the
Brouhaha
lighter version.
and then kerfuffle?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Kerfuffle sounds lighter than brouhaha. They both sound equally light.
No, I understand what you're saying. It
Kerfuffle
does.
has another consonant.
Right. Yeah. But brouhaha, just based on the definition, that I'm looking at, a brouhaha, I think that goes below kerfuffle.
Well, you don't know the word you're using, but kerfuffle is an excellent word, but it's confusing because kerfuffle it connotes violence, but you put that fuffle in there, and now where are we? We're soft. Right. It doesn't. Kerfuffle seems like very soft.
I feel like we're missing a set between
Where's
shenanigans.
Hubbub? Is it Hubbub?
Well, I was thinking
Hubbub.
Hubbub. Well, where's tomfoolery? Because I think tomfoolery is right after shenanigans. Yeah. Tomfoolery.
Yeah.
How about? Wait a minute. I'm now thinking of the therapist that got outsmarted by Matt Damon in Good Will Hunting. What about ballyhoo? That's different.
Yes.
No, ballyhoo.
Yes. Ballyhoo is certainly in the conversation. I was going to use that.
Ballyhoo is certainly after tomfoolery?
Yes.
Fracas is more intense.
Fracas! Fracas is a good one. Fracas sounds like a bad word.
And, of course, a Rubicon.
Did we do hullabaloo?
Oh, hullabaloo.
Yes. Man.
Hullabaloo.
Yeah.
Hullabaloo's light. Hullabaloo, I feel, is right between shenanigans and tomfoolery.
Where is melee? Melee.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, I struggle with that one.
Yeah. Well, we're not even close. We're still establishing our
All
base.
right, hold on a second. Can I go to the top of the totem pole for a second? So you got war.
Right.
You're putting, and then we're falling to riot?
War.
Like, is there anything between war and riot?
What about an uprising?
Uprising is before riot.
Yeah.
You can't have a riot without an uprising.
Yeah.
But now we're just
doing. Uprising's also not funny.
Hold on. Yeah, that's the thing. Now we're just doing synonyms. Oh, look. Guillermo must be checking thesaurus.com.
Because melee was off the top of your head?
Well, clearly melee was off the top of my head. I would have said it right if it wasn't.
But a tussle.
A tussle. Tussle's a funny word. It's got to be a combination.
Fisticuffs is... Fisticuffs is before Donnybrook, because Donnybrooks all out... well, no, it's not. I was going to say it's an all-out melee, but that's a melee.
Yeah.
Huh, this is very confusing.
All right, we'll keep taking hacks at it here and see if we can come up with a definitive hierarchy in the next segment.
Hi, everyone. Stugotz here. Support for the Dan Le Batard Show podcast comes from our friends at Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Chances are you are confident when it comes to your work, your hobbies, and your life. Rocket Mortgage gives you the same level of confidence when it comes to buying a home or refinancing your existing home loan. Rocket Mortgage is simple, allowing you to fully understand all the details and be confident you are getting the right mortgage for you. To get started, go to rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz. That's rocketmortgage.com/Stugotz, STUGOTZ. Equal housing lender, licensed in all 50 states. NMLS consumeraccess.org number 3030.
Dan Le Batard. Put it up on the poll. Should we talk to LeVar Ball on Monday to ask him for a refund on our Big Baller shoes and treat him as customer service?
No refunds. Expensive cost.
Stugotz. Wait a minute. It was too early. I was waiting for the end of the segment. Why'd you blurt in there?
I was so excited when I found out cost rhymes with lost, and I get to do never lost. Expensive cost.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
So at the end of the Miami Heat season, Gabrielle Union tweeted, I hope this isn't the end, but my God, Dwayne Wade has a career most people dream of. He is a damn legend, an icon. And he's cute. Do we know what's going on with Dwayne Wade? And do we know what's best for the Heat? And what's best for Dwayne Wade, and are those things aligned?
Well, I think it depends, right? Whether or not Dwayne Wade can help recruit some people to come down here, some of his friends to come down here. Then it's well worth it to have him on the roster. Then it's well worth it to keep moving forward with Dwayne Wade. If he doesn't, are we okay with having him come off the bench? I don't know. I mean, that's a better question for Mike. I'd be fine with Dwayne Wade sticking around for as long as Dwayne Wade wants to stick around.
No, but I think the part of the equation that you bring up that sort of has to factor into his decision is, what's the team going to look like? Am I just coming back to what was, where I make you a first-round exit? We're going to try improvement from within. I'm going to sort of dilute what Goran Dragic does. Mike gave you that incredible stat at the end of the season that after the All-Star break, Goran Dragic made 5 fourth-quarter baskets at home.
Right.
after, like Goran Dragic in the fourth quarter late in games with Dwayne Wade was not doing anything. It's 5 baskets made at home during or since the All-Star break, at least in part because fourth quarter Spoelstra hands Dwayne Wade his city, my house, and everybody get out of the way.
Are the results any different, though, if Wade's not here?
Well, but let me ask you this.
Because he gave you a couple of big moments
No. I think it's about the same. They weren't beating Philadelphia. You need to be playing against somebody else, not Philadelphia. You weren't beating Philadelphia with or without Dwayne Wade. But what I'm asking you and the audience is, what's best for Wade? What's best for the Heat? Are those things aligned? And then beyond that, I think you're right. When Wade has to see what kind of team it's going to be. But I would ask you guys this. What do you think he wants it to be? Do you think he wants it to be, well, go ahead and trade Goran and let me take my chances with the ball handling? And like, what do you think? If Dwayne Wade decides to come back, what's the enticement?
Well, I mean, don't you think the perfect scenario is coming back with LeBron and Carmelo and Chris Paul, perhaps, and guys like that?
That would be perfect.
So take that out of the equation.
It seems, Stugotz, what you're saying, and you could dream all you want, but in terms of the mechanics of salary cap, like, they can't do any of that.
Okay.
Like, they don't have, I mean, it's not LeBron coming at a pay cut to play for the veterans minimum. Like, this was real once upon a time. It's vastly less real now because they don't have anywhere to put these people. The last time they did this, there was nobody on the roster. They went into the offseason with it was like Mario Chalmers and Joel Anthony were the only things they had on the roster. And so you didn't have to make anything match with anything, but they got all these 4-year contracts.
Right.
I haven't seen a scenario, and I know Andy Ellisberg is good at his job, but I have not seen a scenario that makes any sense to me, except for being able to try and get into the Kawhi Leonard game, which seems like a pipe dream.
Right,
it does, yeah.
You have to get contracts back, too. That's the thing. You can't just clear your books by trading people because you're getting contracts back.
Here's what I would say to you about the Miami Heat and its asset problem beyond draft picks. Bam, Richardson, Winslow. Those are your young people. Those are your alleged assets. The 3 of them bundled together get you what? Like those, you don't have very many other assets. Like maybe someone wants Dragic, maybe the Spurs want Dragic, but the bundle of assets that people are going to want is people believing that those 3 guys that we haven't seen their ceiling. Everyone else on that team is at their ceiling.
Right.
Everyone.
Is Olynyk a good contract? I'm just wondering.
Well, but everyone, just bear with me for a second.
Okay.
Everyone at that team is at the ceiling of their talent, except for the 3 guys that if you believe the Miami Heat have assets, those can be the only 3. And I'm asking you the question, what does that get you?
I don't know. Does that get you Kawhi?
I don't think so. I think other people, Kawhi.
I mean, the Celtics probably have more to offer there, right? The Sixers might have more.
Everyone has more to offer there.
Not everyone, but most teams, you're right, have more to offer than that. That's 3 good young players, though, right there. I mean, Bam, Winslow, and Richardson. That's a pretty good 3.
When that's your height, when that's the height of your assets, and you don't have draft picks, when people want draft picks so they can make their own selections and projections about somebody, I have not talked to the people involved in this, but I just don't see the extraction point.
And what's the ceiling on that? Blake Griffin, a fair ceiling on that sort of trade offer? That's
what were we talking about last year? We were talking about Blake, and we were talking about who were the offseason. We were having the argument about Blake versus, Hayward?
Yeah, we were talking about that. The year before that, we were talking about Horford over Whiteside.
Are they aligned? Are Dwayne Wade's interests and the Miami Heat's interests now aligned? Dwayne Wade came publicly after Ilyasova in protection of his fan base. Are they now more aligned than they were when they broke up? Does anyone have a projection on what's going to happen here, though? Is anyone saying that Wade might retire?
Riley says he's yet to speak to Dwayne about retirement. I know I've been trying during this segment to track down the tweet because I know it came across my timeline during the Sixers series where a TNT reporter was sort of asking Dwayne Wade, is it safe to say it's Miami or nowhere? And he sort of gave a coy smile, sort of confirming that theory. But I think it can change. The whole game can change if the Banana Boat boys get together in some city and Dwayne realizes, okay, I have one shot to fulfill this dream of playing with my best friends.
Daryl Morey is going to be on with us later, and I don't know how much of this that he can answer, but can someone please explain to me, who knows more about the salary cap permutations than I do, in what scenario Wade, Carmelo, Paul, and LeBron can be here? Because
don't leave out Kawhi.
In terms of matching contracts and stuff, like it seems like I was not talking you guys off of the idea of LeBron and Wade playing together in 2010.
You have to have Wade play for next to nothing.
Well,
you have to have Carmelo be willing to take a serious pay cut.
No.
You have to have all those guys be willing to take a pay cut.
$28 million next year.
Dan, if he opts out of that, then he's obviously he's willing to take less.
We saw them go away from the NBA for a while, and then last offseason they started coming back. You can do this with sign and trades, where teams where Cleveland doesn't want to lose LeBron for nothing, but you're going to need cooperation from teams that might not be inclined to put together another super team or help put together another
wait a minute. Well, no, I don't think you actually need very much cooperation there, given how much power the players have in that sport.
Yeah, they kind of control it, right?
We stopped seeing sign and trades. I mean, technically LeBron and Bosch were trades.
That's right.
Those were
bad trades.
Yeah.
But ultimately, given that you could have had them for free, they end up being bad trades because you would like to have some of those assets back right now.
Right. And you were just trading.
You didn't have to do that.
Right.
You didn't have to give them draft picks.
You didn't.
They were worth it. I don't care.
No, but you understand what I'm saying.
I do understand, but I don't care.
They negotiated against themselves on that one. They didn't have to give draft picks.
Because they insisted on the fifth year. And for the fifth year, only Cleveland could offer the fifth year, and it was a fifth year that they ended up not taking. So yeah, you didn't actually need to get that. It's a bummer, and Riley's complained about that because he gave up draft picks for a fifth year that never came.
Yes.
I mean, Paul George went to Oklahoma City for Sabonis and Oladipo, right?
But that was a straight-up trade. That wasn't a sign-in trade because Paul George is a free agent this offseason. We're seeing sign-in trades more now. They sort of died down with that Heat Big Three era, and now they're coming back. So you're essentially trading space to assume a larger contract. So that's how you can do it. And Pat Riley gave voice to that in his postseason presser.
Do you have that sound? Because
it wasn't one of the sexy sound bites. It was just something that he said in passing, but it's something that sort of made me perk up when he was sort of hyping up all the stuff that Ellisberg can do when talking about signing Wayne Ellington and getting into the luxury tax.
I just don't hear anyone other than him saying that. And look, Andy Ellisberg is creative. Like, he has mastered the salary cap stuff.
He painted a fairly rosy picture, which made me sort of be optimistic and maybe take a second look at my season ticket.
But who else is saying that? Is anyone confirming? Riley, look, I don't mean this to disparage Pat Riley. He is one of the great salesmen in the history of sports. And he does those State of the Unions, at least in part, to get those ticket sales up because the man in charge is coming out and gracing us with his presence regally. The class of the organization is coming out to do the sales. But what's real there? Because Pat Riley, for as long as I've covered him, I've told you guys this story. The Heat weren't going to do anything that day, and then I was at a charity dinner, and everybody at the table I was at was getting traded to Atlanta. Like,
I mean, you have to keep in mind everyone points to Philadelphia and Los Angeles because these are the teams that just have the space. They don't have to give up anything. They could just assume LeBron James, sign him as a free agent because they have the roster space. But you mean to tell me LeBron's going to take two meetings, Los Angeles and Philadelphia, this offseason? Hell, Boston's taking all these meetings, and they never had the space for these people. The bulk of the league is in the same sort of position the Miami Heat are. Some of their contracts may be more movable, but this is not a problem that's unique to the Miami Heat. So he mentioned that there are a lot of teams in the NBA in a similar position that are willing to help each other out.
I worry, and someone needs to explain this to me that knows better than I do, and you're doing a good job of it. Those contracts they have, Deion Waiters, 4 years, Hassan Whiteside, Tyler Johnson,
James Johnson.
Those do not look like good, easily movable contracts to me.
Dion at the time,
the length of them.
Yeah,
the length of them.
Dion at the time was a very reasonable contract for that kind of scorer, and I think almost anybody in the league would have given him that contract if they had the space. But off ankle surgery, that really changes things.
Mike, I'm not questioning the decisions when they were made. I'm telling you what they have right now and why it's problematic. I'm not sitting here saying don't sign Dion Waiters, do sign Dion Waiters. I'm saying now they've signed him. And they got 3 years of him, and nobody knows whether or not he's going to return and be 600 pounds. Like,
if he returns with LeBron, Carmelo, Chris Paul, and Kawhi, we don't care if he's 600 pounds.
I'm a one-trick pony, literally. I show up at kids' parties and act cute. That's pretty much it. So excuse me for being bitter. When Geico says not only could we save you money on car insurance, but we do more. Like give you 24/7 access online, over the phone, or even via our award-winning mobile app. Well, ooh la la, aren't they multi-talented? Hey, I said organic carrots.
Geico. Expect great savings and a whole lot more.
Don Batard.
My mom, first visit, worried about her son, comes in the Worcester, which is the armpit of America. And within 5 minutes, a SWAT team rolls up. We think it's for my house. It's for the house next door. It's a crack house, and my mom wanted to bring me home.
A what team?
SWAT team. Is that what you call it? Squad team? I don't know.
Stugotz.
They had big guns.
Wait a minute.
And a lot of armor.
You think that the team that storms into your house and knocks over the door wearing uniforms as law enforcement, you have thought all your life that that's a SWAT team?
They squatted.
The people in the house.
The people in the house were squatting.
No, they came in with like guns blazing and they had their armor on and they all like got in the shooting position and they were squatting.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz on the ticket.
Mike, is cagazón somewhere on your list of things to describe an escalation of tensions?
No, that's a different hierarchy.
Yeah, relajo's closer.
Okay, but we're going to have, do you want to do a Spanish totem pole hierarchy? I don't know if we have enough of these. We might. If you go all Hispanics, we might. But let's go ahead. For those of you who are just joining us, don't know what the hell we're talking about. For some reason earlier in the show, Stugotz felt the need to say brouhaha. Something had escalated to the point of a brouhaha. We were all some degree of shock that he used this expression. It's a funny word. And then we started classifying from top to bottom, bottom to top, what the stages of a tension escalation sound like by words. They have to be funny words. So did we agree that the bottom of the totem pole is shenanigans?
Not even close, Dan.
What?
Not even close.
Not even close. I would like to point out, I've done some research here at totempole.com that the most important people are on the bottom of the totem pole, not the top. The most important are at the bottom of the totem pole.
That's why the expression makes no sense, because the most important people should be at the bottom. But in terms of like in the expression, in terms of hierarchy, like people will say like, you're at the bottom of the totem pole.
All right, go ahead. Put that on the poll. Does the expression "you're at the bottom of the totem pole" is it misrepresentative? Is it wrong? Is everyone getting it wrong?
So I'm doing pretty well.
I have my list, and we're going to be escalating here. All right, so this is the ground floor in terms of a scene. Okay?
Wait a minute, hold on. I thought we'd agreed. Oh, was it hijinks that was at the bottom?
Ooh, second bottom.
I thought. Wait, there is now something below hijinks.
Yes, the ground floor here is chicanery.
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, chicanery is the ground
shenanigans.
Or the top floor. I mean,
Guillermo. No, wait a minute. Put it on the poll, Guillermo. I mean, what should be the bottom of the totem pole? Shenanigans or chicanery? Hijinks or chicanery?
No, this all makes sense when I speak it out, okay?
Top of the totem.
Top.
Chicanery. Chicanery, hijinks, malarkey, then shenanigans. Then you go tomfoolery.
Hold on a second. Malarkey, how does that escalate into tension? Malarkey, what is Malarkey doing on this totem pole?
Malarkey is just look at those people. They're up to some malarkey over there. They're just talking. They're covering their mouths. They're up to something. Like, this might be something that escalates into shenanigans.
Yes. Right. You never know when malarkey can escalate.
Yeah. So, chicanery, hijinks, malarkey, shenanigans, then we go tomfoolery. Yeah. Then we're in a fracas.
Oh.
Whoa, that escalated quickly. Wait a minute, fracas.
No, it really didn't.
No, yes,
it really didn't escalate quickly.
It did?
No, because it's not like we went from chicanery to fracas. There were several stops.
No, but what was the stop right before fracas?
Tomfoolery.
See, this is what I'm saying. Tomfoolery is just jostling around. And then you get to fracas, though. Somebody's gotten hit. Fracture.
No.
Fracture.
No, I understand because of the root word, but no, not quite. Hullabaloo after fracas.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Then a ballyhoo.
Yeah. Yes.
Then the brouhaha.
Hey.
Then you go rowdy-dow. Then a kerfuffle. Then a hubbub. Then a hurly-burly.
No.
Yep. Then slobber knocker.
How is hurly-burly?
A slobber knocker?
There is no way that hurly-burly deserves to be that high.
I will
Hurly-burly should be near shenanigans.
Oh, really? Because
hurly-burly.
Have you ever heard of Billy Shakespeare? Because he had hurly-burly one stop below war. Okay? Just because you're not familiar with it.
Why
Billy
does Shakespeare get to decide this?
He basically
Who put Bill in charge?
He basically invented words, Billy Shakespeare. So, honestly, it's one stop before war, a hurly-burly.
Yeah.
There's just put that on the poll.
No way.
There's no way. You're right, Guillermo. I don't care what Mike says. I don't care what Bill Shakespeare says.
So, hubbub, hurly-burly, slobber knocker, Donnybrook, riot, Palace of Auburn Hills.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
I think everyone would agree with that.
Yeah.
It'd be so great if countries declared hurly-burlies.
Well, what would have been great is if Mike hadn't been afraid to just put war in there and then put Palace of Auburn Hills above that. But Mike got just afraid of war jokes. Corporate sellout.
We declare hurly-burly.
Yes. It doesn't sound the same at all. You're right. It's like we declare shenanigans. It's like we declare, but there are things on there. We declare chicanery sounds more dangerous than hurly-burly. I got to be honest with you.
Chicanery is the ground floor here, Dan. It's
just
nowhere close to a rowdy-dow.
Strongly disagree with that.
Sorry, man. I Googled all of these things. The definitions escalate. Rowdy-dow way worse than chicanery.
I don't even know what a rowdy-dow is. I've never heard that expression.
You don't want to know.
It's better that you don't.
Is that right? Okay. So you guys just think I'd be better off. Ignorance is bliss in this situation. That if you told me what a rowdy-dow is, my life would be...
Rowdy-dow,
That's a fine, yeah. Stop pushing on this one, I'm telling you.
I'm walking closer to it, but I'm now scared of it.
Don't walk closer to it because then you know what happens? You walk closer to it, all of a sudden you pass it and you find yourself in a kerfuffle.
Okay, I don't mind a kerfuffle. It sounds delightful. A kerfuffle sounds like a summery frilly
It does sound like
breakfast.
A pastry.
What does kerfuffle sound like? It doesn't sound like violence. It sounds like what? All right, put this on the poll, Guillermo. Kerfuffle. What does it sound more like? A frilly dress or a pastry?
Yeah, breakfast pastry. You go to the Hilton and they have it available in their continental breakfast. Put a little kerfuffle on your plate.
That does feel like something you could get with a continental breakfast.
That's the danger of the kerfuffle. It lures you in with a false sense of security, and then bang, kerfuffle.
Sort of like hubbub. Yeah. Fun word to say, hubbub.
I'd like to go back, if I could, for a second. And forgive me for perpetually being lured into this temptation. The rowdy-dow.
Rowdy-dow.
Fine.
Please,
I want you to stay away from this.
Please tell me more. I just give me a couple of details. I know you
I
don't
care too much about you, man.
You're protecting me from myself?
I am, yes.
Do you really want to know?
I do want to know, but be careful. I don't want you guys to hurt me because I've heeded your warnings and now I'm scared. I've never heard this word. That's why I keep pronouncing it. I don't know if it's two words. I don't know how to spell it.
It's one word.
Does it have a hyphen?
No, one word.
No.
Rowdy-dow.
Yeah.
Rowdy-dow is
Am I the only one who's never heard that word before?
Oh, yeah. You're definitely the only person ever.
You are, yeah. We've been trying to keep it away from you for 15 years.
You guys have kept this secret buried from me for 15 years. That's why all of my passcodes are tough to get to on the internet. You guys are always in front of me changing things.
No, that's your age. And your complete ignorance for order.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it pays everybody around here.
Sure does.
We've reset your password 8 times in the last 2 days.
I'll keep resetting
But
it for
that's
you every
because
day.
you're trying to keep me away from the secrets of the rowdy-do.
Maybe your password should be rowdydow. I wouldn't do that, though.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm going to need your mother's maiden name.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of your first pet?
Oh, yeah.
I never remember the answers to those questions.
What is that's the least surprising thing in the world. That is the least surprising thing in the world. That Stugotz gets on the phone. Hello. I'm not an identity thief. I'm just calling in to make sure that all of my money is in all the accounts it's supposed to be without the FBI squatting in my house.
I set as security passwords for things, like I thought I'd be funny, and I set the name of my first child, and I don't have children, so I haven't been able to access
remember
things
it.
for
That
years.
sounds like a mistake everyone makes. No? Is that not a mistake everyone makes? Not the organized people.
Who's he being funny for there?
I don't know, because another one was like, where'd you go on your honeymoon? I'm like, I went here. And it's like, wait a minute. Now I can't access
Guillermo
my
living
money.
this fantasy life on the internet.
Amusing himself.
Describing vacations as passcodes. That sounds like something Guillermo would do. I would pay a good amount of money to hear Stugotz navigate through one of these calls where they ask him questions to verify his ID, and he's waddling around and he doesn't. Hey, Abby, what's your mom's name?
What's my mom's name?
And Abby, that's right.
All of these questions, a lot of them you're guilty of recency bias when they ask you the question. I know one of my security questions is like, what's your favorite place to visit? And I have to cycle through 15 locations because I didn't know what my favorite was at the time. What's the name of your best friend? It was David, but I don't talk to David anymore.
All right,
Constantly changing, you're right.
Put that on the poll, Guillermo. Have you ever given... I don't even know how to phrase it. You just phrase it however you want when IDing yourself. The name of a best friend who's no longer your best friend.
I haven't spoken to David in 15 years.
I chose my cat. My cat's name, your first pet's name, and I don't remember how I spelled it.
Schmitty, he died.
I know, but I think I spelled it Smitty. And then I tried Smitty, and then I tried Schmitty, and neither of them worked. But I know I went with some variation of Schmitty or Smitty.
What do you do when it's like your high school mascot? Because then I know that my mascot was a Wolverine, but his name was Waldo. So I don't remember if I put Waldo or Wolverine.
Waldo the Wolverine.
It's all very confusing to me.
Did you try
And then
both?
first job, Victoria's Secret. Do I put the apostrophe in there? Didn't I? These passwords.
Yeah.
That's why you should have gone Waldo the Wolverine. Covered all your bases.
Yeah.
They are a pain, though, man.
This happens to everybody, right? We're not unique in this regard.
We are not. Do you want to know what a rowdy dow is, or should I keep it from you?
Well, now that you
The
brought it
answer is
up
you
again,
don't.
I thought you guys did all of that to distract me from what was my initial pursuit of this temptation that you keep trying to deny me. The rowdy-do.
Rowdy dow.
Wow, man, fun.
I want to know, if this is an expression. This can't be an expression the audience has heard. What is the age of this expression?
Everyone, if you put it to a poll, 99.
Yeah, no.
So I'm very frustrated that I don't know what that is. So tell me, please, as many details as you can give me without harming me or my family.
Okay. Important qualifiers there.
Careful, man.
All right. It's everyone cool?
Yeah.
It's a noisy disturbance.
Oh, wait.
Or-
Wait. We're good.
A spirited contest. A brawl. A fight.
Whoa.
A boisterous party.
Whoa.
And this is one that really locked in its
Those are
placement.
very different things. A brawl, a fight, a boisterous party.
And it ends with spree.
Oh my God, I'm so confused. Why did you guys share that with me? Why did you not
Tried
protect
to
me from
warn you.
myself?
Sorry.
You asked for it, man.
But you guys are supposed to protect me from myself when I'm being a moron.
We try. We have a rule here, though. When you ask a 10th time, we tell you.
Otherwise, it becomes a hubbub.
Exactly.
I don't understand how something can be a noisy party and a fight. How can it be a noisy party and a fight and a
brawl?
And a brawl. By the way, brawl must be at the top or the bottom of this.
Not funny enough. Not funny
Brawl's
enough.
funny. Brawl's a funny word. You throw an A and a W and an L together there, you got something funny. It's
I don't think so.
Like
man.
withdrawal's not
Withdrawal's
funny.
not funny.
Kind of sad.
Crawl. You laugh every time. Crawl. No, I don't laugh.
Skirmish isn't funny.
I mean, when do you like kerfuffle?
Skirmish isn't on here. I got to start again.
Skirmish should be on.
Oh,
there,
you got to start over. What do you mean skirmish isn't on there?
But now where does skirmish go? Probably between Hullabaloo and Ballyhoo?
Yeah.
No. Fracas is higher than a... Maybe I fracas too low? We'll go skirmish between tomfoolery and fracas.
Yeah.
Skirmish.
Yeah, that's good.
You don't
that's
think
good
so?
placement. I think that's good placement.
Skirmish.
Yeah, and I think
It's like fourth from the top or the bottom.
Oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 6 from the bottom. 6 from the bottom.
The bottom of the totem pole.
The bottom of
the bottom, right?
Well,
Bottom's
the top of the
important.
totem pole because the bottom is the most
bottom,
important part of the totem pole.
Yeah, that's right.
We
Yeah.
established
Yeah, that's
all
true.
of this.
Totempole.com.
Yeah.
I wonder if Wade's coming back.
Yeah.
Because I never really thought about it until Dan mentioned it. I always just sort of assumed that he was coming back, but
if he doesn't, it'll be a skirmish.
he certainly has.
Acting like someone who's
He's
not
acting
coming
like
back.
he's. You don't think he's coming back?
He's playing hard to get.
Do you think it's safe to say?
Oh, he is playing hard to get. This is his move, actually.
Yeah,
Man, I'm so
he's
happy
famous for
we had the ending. It's important to note that he said he does not want the farewell tour. He didn't want the Kobe thing.
He doesn't want the
no.
Kobe.
Yeah, I
He's
don't
lying.
think that.
You think he's lying?
Yeah, he's lying. Yeah, he wants.
it.
He wants.
Come on, that guy
He wants
attention.
adulation and love.
I don't know. I do love him. I'm so happy we had that game too.
Yeah.
Those moments.
Yeah.
It was so he got the ending right. If this is indeed the ending,
I want him to have the farewell tour.
you're talking so much closer to the microphone
Yeah,
than
why are you
everybody
on the
else.
mic? We're off the air.
We're off the air.
The
We're just
segment
like
ended a
huddled
couple
up.
minutes ago.
Yeah.
I want him
about
to have
things.
It's
things.
just what we do in the breaks. We just talk to each other.
Yeah.
Best friends.
So this is like off
I
air.
don't know about
This
that.
is off
it
the
on
air.
there. Turn your mic off.
This is
We're
a
just gonna
back
put this
channel
on.
conversation.
Yeah, I mean,
it's gonna
But
go
no
to
one's.
commercials.
We went to
Yeah, turn it off.
our network out
There you
a
go.
minute ago.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
talking
Dan's
about
not
the
even in the
show.
room.
Dan's not even.
Yeah.
Slobber
You guys
knocker
left
is
too.
fun to say.
Yeah, Jim
Slobber
Ross
knocker,
says
yeah,
that.
Jim
Yeah,
Ross.
only
And
Jim
he
Ross.
uses it way too much.
But he also
We're gonna be
says
honest.
jolly, and if he, you know what, if he said, brawl,
Yeah.
then it's funny because of the jowls.
Pure six
Oh,
brawl.
we got
Pure
brawl.
six brawl.
Pure six brawl is
Yeah.
way worse than a regular brawl.
Yeah.
Because pure six, why do brawls only happen on pure six? What is this pure six?
What about pure 5 or pure
it up.
7?
Yeah, why is pure six the pure six brawl? I'm
Pure
googling
one. That's
pure one, pure one
Pure
imports.
One.
So that makes
You get a
sense.
chair
So
from
pure
there.
one,
That's pretty
new
good.
totem pole, peers.
Pier.
New totem pole,
Yeah.
peers.
Yeah,
Pier
peers.
in Rocket Power.
No. No, what is Rocket
Show
Power?
Rocket Power?
No.
It was on Nickelodeon.
Was it?
It was like roll
Too
the
old for
bass.
that cartoon.
We a rider.